Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Rowpaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, happy Friday. Welcome on in, Boise State fans. This is Bronco Nation News Live at bronconationnews.com. We're on the YouTube channel and the Facebook page today, so appreciate you guys for checking us out. He's Jay Tust, sports director at KTVB. My name is BJ Rains, and we're going to spend the next 30 minutes talking about Tom Brady's divorce. How's it going, Jay?
Wait, is that official?
It is, actually. I just saw Tom Brady on it posted on Instagram via Twitter. Somebody tweeted it out that Tom Brady has announced he's getting a divorce, man. Hate to see that.
That's a bummer.
It is a huge bummer. I wasn't trying to make a joke about it, but it, man, that's been a interesting year, man. He comes back and the team's terrible. Now he's getting a divorce, and you feel for, Father Time's undefeated, right? He maybe a year or two ago, he could have gone out on top with that championship, and everything was great in his life, and it's been a rough couple of years, I guess, for him. But
gosh, yeah.
Yep. Sad for their kids, Rudy says. I agree. Yeah, that's really rough news, but wish Tom and everybody in the family the best with that moving forward. But no, in all seriousness, we're going to talk some football today. We got a lot going on, so appreciate you for checking us out. Make sure to subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you're coming over from Twitter, I posted the link. It's real quick. Just click subscribe there on YouTube. We'd love to have you and add to our subscriber list as we build this thing moving forward here. We post all of our press conference videos, all the shows, everything straight to the YouTube page. So please, as the kids say, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button on YouTube. We'd love to have you. Maybe I should bring back the little clip of Naismith saying that. We can just play that every time of him telling you to subscribe on YouTube. But I enjoyed seeing your wife and little one the other day, by the way. They stopped by for interviews.
Yeah, we went down to Harrison Boulevard before interviews. They dropped me off to work for a little bit there. But yeah, it was good. On your off
day, you showed up to do some interviews.
Yeah, Harrison Boulevard's awesome, though. I'd recommend anybody getting over there. I will say this, though. Do it before Halloween, because it's going to start to get more and more crowded. So we always like to get over there on that Monday or Tuesday before Halloween.
Okay.
Because it's usually not many people. You can walk around. Collins can point at stuff and laugh and giggle, and it's all good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was good to just randomly see them in the parking lot dropping you off. That was
What are the boys going as this year?
Oh, we got
God, don't say Albert Pujols.
No, we got the police, the police officer and the escaped inmate.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, we got.
Which one's which?
What would you think?
I think older brother's is the one doing the escaping.
You actually would be correct. The police officer is actually the younger one of the two. Nowadays, with all the Halloween parties at school and at church and at Boy Scouts and everywhere else, they've probably already worn their costumes about 10 times and have more candy than I know what to do with at this point. So the actual Halloween is going to show up, and it's going to almost be after the fact at this point. But here's the we'll see if we can get this up there.
There they are. Okay. Hilarious. Love it.
Yeah, they're ready to go. The inmate's already got him. He's got him already. So yeah, they're locked and ready to go, and they're going to be trick-or-treating in Missouri, which, by the way, in St. Louis area, it's a tradition that I never knew wasn't a thing till you come out here. But you have to give a joke to get your candy. Never heard of that, huh? Yeah, you have to give a trick or treat. You have to do a trick. You don't say a joke. If you want the treat, you got to do something. So it's a big thing. You got
you lean on the same joke.
You can go around, but when you open the door to give out candy, then a little kid has to tell you a joke, and then you give the corny laugh or whatever, and then you give him a couple pieces of candy. That's the first year we moved out. The first year we moved out here, I said something about it, and it turned out it wasn't a big deal out here. So I was kind of like, oh,
no, out west we just give us our freaking candy.
Yeah, and doesn't Harrison Boulevard do the full size candy bars, by the way, or the
big? Mm-hmm. My not that anybody on here cares, but my sister and her husband, they have 4 kids, but they recently moved, and they found out that the people that used to occupy their old house gave out full-size candy bars, and so
they were stuck doing it.
They didn't want to break tradition, so they're doing full-size candy bars this year. That's some commitment. My goodness.
Kareem the Dream says, show them Colorado State's offense this year, and I'm sure they'll get a lot of candy there. Yeah, as we switch from the Halloween talk, which I guess next Tuesday will be the day after Halloween, right? Is Halloween Monday night? So then we can have the recap of how everybody did on the candy on Tuesday's show next week. But yeah, we do have football to talk. We'll move on from the Halloween talk and our kids. I'm sure everybody would love for 30 minutes us just talk about our kids, but which is probably more fun and exciting for us than football. But there is a little bit to discuss today, and unfortunately, the George Tarlas injury is kind of where we'll start. Comes out yesterday that George Tarlas out for the season with a hip injury. He's already had surgery. Boise State still has not confirmed. We'll see what Andy Avalos at some point talks about and says this, but we've all kind of put it out there through various sources. So George Tarlas out for the season, and really an odd thing because we were both there at the Air Force Academy. There was a couple plays where he went off after doing something, but it wasn't really a big deal. I think he came back into the game, and then Boise State does not let injured players talk to the media. And we did not get to talk to George Jelani, obviously, but Ashton Genty, we wouldn't have got to talk to anyway. But in a game, if a player gets hurt, they're not going to put him up in the podium to talk to the media. So the fact that George Tarlas came in and talked to the media, it was, we interviewed him. He was fine. He was joking. He was real nice. Nothing, no signs of any kind of injury. And then it popped up during the week, I guess. They went and diagnosed it on Sunday or Monday, and didn't come back good. I heard maybe he pulled his hip right out of the socket. Something else may have happened and ends up having surgery, and George Tarlas done for the season, Jay. And, we'll talk about the impact to the defense and the replacements and all that in a minute. But first, just for George, the dude had a Disney movie that he was writing, man. What with all he's come through coming over from Greece and everything that he's done to be here, then leave, then get a chance to come back. And he was starting to get, he was really productive. And it literally did have the makings of like a Hollywood or Hallmark movie or whatever, or Disney movie. That was his last year, man. He's all, likely done with college football. And that's on a personal level, you hate to see that for a kid.
Yeah. There's no way he has any eligibility left, right? Medical redshirt, any of that stuff, it's all been exhausted, I would assume.
I don't think so. He's played more than 4 games. Yeah, he's already a 6th-year player. I guess there's somebody you could try to, ask the NCAA for some sort of, petition or something, but I don't know why they would grant it at this point.
He's played in 7 games at that, and usually you got to be under, 4 games, I think, for any chance at a medical red shirt. So
unfortunately, I think he's done. Yeah,
and that's too bad. You said it, BJ. He just had an awesome story, one that could inspire anybody, and it's completely unfortunate because he was playing some really solid football this year, and he was, I think you could say he was the acquisition of the offseason for the Boise State football team. He was outstanding for the Broncos on the defensive line, and it's too bad to see this. I think the thing that I'm going to miss most is talking to George. He was one of the more enlightening players that we've ever interviewed at Boise State. It was kind of funny. You'd ask him a question, and then you'd almost just take a breath and step back and be like, where is this? Not even necessarily where it's going to go, but what is he going to say? He is very in tune with mind, body, and spirit. Even after the Air Force game, he was talking about the neutral mindset where, that basically means whether something good or something bad happens to you, you don't let negativity affect what your reaction to it. And so yesterday he tweeted out that something along the lines of God is good. He's thankful for another day, and if anybody can overcome this mentally, it's going to be a guy like George Tarlas. He's kind of been building himself, not necessarily for this specific type of adversity, but just adversity in general. So wish him the best of luck. Got to see him play in high school. He's achieved way more than I ever thought that he could, to be honest with you. And hopefully he finds a way to continue his trajectory and maybe gets a shot in the NFL one day.
Yeah, he said, something to the effect of not even like sorry about the injury, ever just thankful to have another day. Like he just like, you know what, there's bigger things in football, and he's thankful to wake up, yesterday. He kind of
set the pace. I would say, BJ, you kind of set the pace of the race with this news. So good job, bud. But one thing to add, and maybe you know this too or whatever, but just kind of heard that he should be back in time to, get a little training in before the NFL draft. So hopefully, by making the quick decision to do what he did in terms of starting the recovery process, hopefully all that works out for him so that he can get a shot in the NFL.
That would be a story maybe when we retire at some point, like how it, but you've had this, man, where you hear a rumor of a story and like that's like one of the thrills as a reporter is like trying to confirm something and chase it. And then it's like the nervous feeling where you're sure, but you're not quite sure. And then but we obviously don't report something until we're 100% sure.
Yeah. And then somebody sees him at Walmart in a wheelchair.
And sometimes that's how it, like, I've had stories where I've broken because that's how it started, where someone sends you a DM where they're like, oh, I just saw his wife or whatever at this place and they said he's done, or this happened, or somebody's friends with the assistant, ball boy one year, so you hear something from at a party or something, you hear all these rumors, and sometimes they turn out to not be true. Then obviously you're not reporting them just based on that, but then you go try to send a couple texts or a call, and if you're lucky enough to know the parents, or if there's a friend or somebody, a former teammate, or somehow you can get an in, or a coach or whatever. And I think it was actually like Monday night that I first heard about this, and it took all the way till Thursday afternoon. And I can promise you, I'm not sitting there for 3 days just going, what's a good time to tweet this out? You're like trying your hardest. Other people maybe might, if you're catching wind of it, somebody else might be. Like when Hank Bachmeier transferred, I wrote this whole story up and literally I had the tweet on the screen saying and I was trying to phrase, how do I phrase the wording that Hank Bachmeier is transferring? Make sure there's no misspellings. And I waited like 2 minutes to hit send because that was I was a little nervous. I was sure, but I was also like, okay, like this is a pretty big deal when I hit send here. That's people are going to freak out about. And if I had waited like 10 more seconds, I would have got beat by Jordan K because he had also heard about it. He didn't have a story with his, but he had also got word of it. And I literally had the scoop for 10 seconds on Hank Bachmeier because I was waiting too long to tweet it out. And I know you've had situations like that and stories like that. So that's maybe a summer show when we have nothing else to talk about, where we can get into stories of breaking news. But it is it's not as simple as like Andy Avalos calling you and saying, yeah, you can tweet this out. He's out for the year. I mean, there's a lot. There are some stories and things that happen when you're trying to break news, and it was lucky enough. We all get lucky, blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while, and I was able to get that out there first. And it was, we did send it to not a humble brag, I guess, but we did send it to subscribers. If you're a paying subscriber of Bronco Nation News, you got it 10 minutes before everybody else. So another reason to subscribe is you get any news that we get first out there early. And that was another one. I wanted to send it to the subscribers first, but I'm thinking, okay, maybe you or somebody else is a subscriber. They're going to see it and then go report it before I even tweet it out, So there's always just a weird balance, but that's part of the business. We're trying to
paid my respects to that one, BJ.
Huh?
I might have paid my respects to that one.
I appreciate that. And you did give me the hat tip on Twitter with that, so I appreciate that. You might have. Not sure everybody else would have, but I do appreciate that. But you mentioned, and somebody else also, by the way, said it still could be a Disney movie, could be more inspiring, the narrative, depending on what happens. So, this is not the end of the George Tarlas story. Now, sure, if he would have had a monster year and finished with 11, 12 sacks or whatever, and been fully healthy, he would have had a better chance. So it obviously is impacting him, but it's not the end. If he can get back healthy, he's certainly got a chance still here.
Yeah, I mean, that you look at, years from now, we'll look back and see his season, and we'll kind of look and think that his numbers were modest, just because you don't normally look at the amount of games someone played as the first stat. You look at sacks or tackles for loss or whatever, but you could essentially double his numbers, right? Like at this point in time, Boise State wins this weekend, they're guaranteed to play in a bowl game. If they win this weekend too, gosh, they just take another step closer to that 14th game of playing in a Mountain West Conference championship game. So you can essentially double his numbers. And as a defensive end with 62 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 8 sacks. That's a big time season.
Yeah, and you throw in his, how he is mentally and how he would have done meeting with teams and stuff. I mean, yeah, he'll get back. Big Wade says thanks for the early scoop there. Appreciate that. But there's a couple other comments. Nate asking about the COVID year. No, this was his COVID year. So, again, it's not like we're happy talking about, it sucks for George, but no, this was the COVID year, and he's that's it. I mean, he had his 4 years at Weber, or his 5 years, I guess, at Weber State, right? He redshirted there.
Yeah.
And then this was his COVID year. And he unfortunately is out. Perry says Tarlas priorities are right. He says, damn, yeah, that sucks. So let's talk about, so George unfortunately is out, but now this opens up a huge hole on Boise State's defense. They obviously have got to replace him both as a leader, both as a player. His production, is it going to shift some guys around? We'll get to that in just a second, but I do want to thank a couple of our great sponsors, Jay. The Blue and Orange Store, check them out, theblueandorangestore.com. Free shipping, any order over $40. That's right, free shipping, any order over $40 at theblueandorangestore.com. You can go to the Boise Town Square Mall there as well on the second floor and get all your NIL shirts and all that stuff there if you're in the Boise area. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. 13 Idaho locations. Find the one nearest you at shopridleys.com. United Commercial Insurance. They make business insurance easy. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. Check them out, United Commercial Insurance.com. Boise Dentistry Co. as well. Full family dentistry and wellness. They just do a great job there, and can't wait to get Nelson back in there. He's got a loose tooth when he comes in for Thanksgiving here in a while. Dr. Miner and his staff do a tremendous job. You can find a location from Boise to Mountain Home, Caldwell, everywhere in between at BoiseDentistryCo.com. If you're looking for a new job, look no further. Transportation Compliance Service. How about becoming a truck driver? They can get you out there towing that first load in no time. It could be the truck on the screen or the Amazon truck in your neighborhood. Get more information, get all your permits, everything. Get signed up and get out there towing that first load at transcompservice.com. And our studio sponsor, again, as always, Cutwater Canned Cocktails. We appreciate them, and hope you are having a Cutwater. Not now. Well, it's Friday morning. Why not? Have a Cutwater if you want to, but at some point this weekend, maybe pick up a pack for your tailgate party tomorrow out there at the stadium. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium canned cocktails, and we will have another item to give away on the pregame show tomorrow. I'm actually heading by Stein Distributing this afternoon. We'll be picking up whether it be a cooler or a golf bag or a bike. We'll have they've been helping us each game with a giveaway, and so if you come by the pregame show tomorrow, we'll see if we can hook you up with a free gift. And again, we appreciate Cutwater Canned Cocktails for their support and sponsorship of Bronco Nation News. Perry says, let's see what the next man up can do. And that's where the situation kind of turns here, Jay. Obviously, as you said, one of the most productive players along that defensive line on this entire team. And that's the fact that he had nothing in the Oregon State game, right? Not a single tackle, not a single nothing. He really kind of has turned it on, and he keeps getting better and better here later in the season. He had 7 tackles, I believe, against Air Force. Was really coming on strong. And now you've got a huge hole there. And if you look at the depth chart, the guy they list hasn't played a snap the entire season as his backup in Cortez Hogan. So you're going to theoretically have a guy over on that side that has played none at all or a little. And now Cortez Hogan's, they were really excited about in camp. They talked about that being a battle, like as co-starters almost, or who was it going to be? They were saying Cortez was really pushing him. Something happened. We don't even know. They just the first game said Cortez was out and he just hasn't played. He finally did dress last week. So maybe we're in a situation where he's finally ready to contribute, but I'm not sure if you go from not playing at all to playing 60 snaps or whatever in the game on Saturday. So, or however many snaps Colorado State might have, but Hogan's is a guy, I guess we'll hear his name. What do you make of that spot? Do they move somebody over from the other side? Is Hassanin now a guy that we're going to see more? Obviously a huge loss in production from George Tarlas. What do you see them doing there?
Yeah, George was just unique too. Like he was just such, a 260-pound defensive end. He was just so stout. Like he will be tough to replace just because they don't really have anybody on the roster that can mimic that size or strength at that position, right? So hopefully Cortez Hogan's can go this Saturday and for the rest of the season and prove that he can stand up to it. Outside of that, they are going to have to get a little creative. Ahmed is a guy that I know Boise State loves, number 91 if you see him on the field.
Another guy with a cool story.
He's got a great story too. in a way, kind of, I mean, it has some parallels to a guy like George Tarlas, both kind of foreign players that came over and started playing football and have really excelled and found a passion for the game. So I think he's a guy that you could see. Do they move? I mean, how creative do they get? Do they move Dimitri Washington around? Devin Wright? It'll just be interesting to kind of see what they do there. And one thing I will say, BJ, is that this defense has been operating at a historically good clip, right? One thing that they have been awfully fortunate with so far, and I will knock on wood, is they have been relatively healthy. JL missed the New Mexico game. That almost kind of felt like a precautionary thing. So it just, they've been pretty lucky when it comes to injury so far. And history will tell you, after Air Force, there's always a couple of things, right? And that's why you always kind of wonder, is the bye better before or after Air Force? If it's before, It helps you prepare for the triple option. If it's after, it helps you recover from the triple option. And right now we might be working with a more valuable bye would have been after Air Force. So I think you cross your fingers and hope that's the only one, but who knows at this point.
We got the Misa family coming in. Good morning, BJ and Jay. Prayers up for Tarlas.
From the 253. What's up, Misa family?
Agree with that. And by the way, Nate says wife sees me drinking a Cutwater. His excuse is that I said it was okay. So yeah, sure, that works. Even at 9:30 or whatever. Maybe you're on the East Coast. It's 11:30 almost.
Hey, I blame a lot of stuff on BJ. So
can't underestimate any team. Good luck, Broncos. Tarlas had a big motor that's going to be tough to replace, obviously. I mean, that D-line, and you've talked about it, like, even a guy like Scott Matlock hasn't put up huge numbers. That some of the D-line numbers aren't like huge numbers, but they've been the key. Andy Avalos said it, even in like the, why they're number one in the pass defense is they're getting, they're doing their part to get some pressure and, make the run so hard that teams have to pass and stuff. I mean, this D-line has been, one of the better positions on the team. Yeah. I know linebackers are getting a lot of the pub too, but I think quietly the D-line has been a big part of that, and this is a big challenge for them.
Well, I mean, DJ, I've been covering Boise State football obviously for a while now. I know you have too.
You got me by what? 1 season, 2 seasons? When was your first?
I think 2 seasons. This is season 12 for me.
Okay, yeah, I was here 2013. Were you 2011?
Got here in 11. Got here Kellen's final year.
All right.
But in all my seasons of covering the team, and honestly, it absolutely might have happened. Maybe it's just happening in a different way that's a little more subtle. But I mean, I don't know if you saw, Scott Matlock was definitely, I don't know if you call it tipping plays or signaling at least back to the guys behind him, because he was seeing something up front. If you go back and you watch the highlights, like, he was standing up at times and he almost looked like a bear pointing at the sky or something like that.
Again. Do that again for a second. What was he doing? What's that shirt? What's that sweatshirt say there?
Yeah, Washington State, but we lost last night, unfortunately. Thought we could get Utah. Man, just couldn't pull it out.
Hanging in there, had a shot.
We had a shot, just couldn't pull it off. Kyle Whittingham at the end of that game, man, tip of the cap to you. You managed it beautifully. I know why you're such a good head coach.
Anyways, I had flashbacks, by the way, when that punt hit off the guy's leg of Reed Harrison Ducros having the punt hit off him when Boise State lost in triple overtime, I believe it was, to Wazoo. And that was the game where Brett Rippon had the concussion, and then Montel Cozart came in, and Boise State was up 21 points in the fourth quarter, and the punt hit Reed Harrison Ducros, and then they end up losing that game. And I did have flashbacks to kind of tie it back to Boise State when I saw that.
Hayden Pallur, pick 6. Yep, that was a tough one. But Kareem, come on, man. Utah's got a good team, and they got a great head coach. But getting back to it, he was clearly doing something. I mean, you just hear how intelligent Scott is and how connected he is with that defense. So he's doing things that are so much more meaningful than even the stats he's putting on paper. And he is just it's a lot of fun to watch him and see how much people respect him. And he'll be taking on double and triple teams while other guys are a little more free. And, hey, maybe it's just coincidental. I don't know. But all of a sudden, Dimitri Washington's, production is starting to uptick a little bit. And I'm not taking anything away from Dimitri, because you could tell he's playing good football right now. But it probably helps when you're lining up next to a guy like Scott Matlock, where maybe he's getting some additional attention at times.
I will say this though, Jay. This if there was ever a game where your defense was down a guy or two, this would probably be it, right? Where you could feel okay. I mean, nothing against
BJ, everything against Colorado State. You're gonna say nothing against Colorado State? Is that what you're gonna say? No, everything against them.
On paper, this is a pretty big mismatch, and I know Prater was on here yesterday, and he kind of echoed what you had said earlier. You had said they might not score. Prater's saying, I want a shutout. Prater's like demanding a shutout on the blue. Again, there's usually a fluky punt return. There's a fluky one miss on a pass breakup. But again, this team hasn't been giving up very many big plays, but there's usually just something. So I can't go in there and predict shutout. I'm going to give them at least 7. But I don't see how this game is within, I don't know if they can cover 28. That's a lot of points. But if we look up and they won this game 48-7 or something, it's not going to surprise me.
Yeah.
This game should not be close.
I'll still ride or die with my shutout prediction. I will. But the one thing that concerns me about that now is obviously the injury news. The other thing that concerns me about that now is that you're also at the point in time in the season where if you do get up 28 in the fourth quarter, you're probably going to pull a lot of your starters just because we've hit the grind. You're going to have to rely on some depth if you can, and there's no better time to do that than to wrap up October by getting some backups in and allowing them to absorb some of the grind at the end of the game. But BJ, literally everything against Colorado State. They are 12th. Mind you, there's 12 teams in the Mountain West, right? They are 12th in scoring offense, 12th in rushing offense, 12th in sacks allowed, 12th in third down conversion rate, 12th in red zone offense. Want me to keep going? 12th in red zone defense. There is not a single major category that they rank in the upper half of the Mountain West except for one, and that is passing efficiency, and it is only 118. 118 is not good at all. You could argue Mountain West, a quarterback playing the Mountain West is a little down this year. So it's crazy. They're a bad team. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They are dead last in America in red zone offense and third down conversion rate. Those are two places Boise State's been pretty good, whether it be the red zone, allowing teams only to settle for field goals. I'm going to over under on third down conversions is going to be 2.5, which is insanely low. I think.
Come on. 2.5 third down conversions for the whole game.
Sorry. Yeah. On third down. Yes. 2.5 third down conversions. They have only converted 18% of their third down opportunities. I'm going
to give them
in America.
Come on. I'll take over on that.
Boys. Okay.
2.5. All I got to do is get three third down conversions.
Yeah.
Entire game.
Friendly bet, cup of coffee. What are we doing here?
We'll put a rock star on it. Sure.
Okay. All right, yeah. I mean, Boise State ranks 16th in America in third down defense. They're only allowing opponents to convert 30% of the time.
2.5 just seems like that's crazy.
2.5 third down conversions.
By the way, Perry is saying over RD's holding them to 13. Like 13 would be about what they're averaging, right? Like that wouldn't really be holding them to much if you hold them to 42-7. The expectation here. I will say, I want to go like a bold prediction with the shutout. I'm still thinking 33-7, somewhere in that range. Okay, and yet 33. So you read us some stats on Colorado State's defense not being great either. Boise State, by the way, what is it? 11-0, 11-0 all time against Colorado State.
Yeah, they've never lost to Colorado State, and the reason why I think that it's a little bit. That I just kind of like that score is just because Colorado State, they have tried to slow the game down themselves. They do try to run the ball a little bit more. They got a running back, number 25, Morrow, who is capable. Him and Tyler Horton's little bro are the most capable guys on their roster potentially, at least on the offensive side of the ball. So those are a couple guys that can roll, but they just don't have a ton around them. Ooh, Rudy's got a hot take with Caden Dudley scoring a touchdown.
We don't know all the injury updates, but we should say that there is video, and we did see obviously George Tarlas was back at practice. So I would think and this is no inside info, but I would feel pretty good about saying if on a Tuesday practice you're seeing video from your guy, Brady saying that showing George Tarlas at 100%, or at least was out there in full pads practicing. Wouldn't you think 4 days later he'd probably play?
I think that's a safe assumption.
Don't know about
Because
Genty. Don't know about Genty. So you're still going to
I don't
have.
know about Genty,
Yeah.
but I was there on Wednesday as well, and I will say this: not only did you see video, George, is that we were allowed to show it, and if a player is wearing a yellow no contact jersey, that typically means off limits to the media. So I would take that as an encouraging sign that the world could kind of see from our limited time at practice.
And I think you asked the question as we start to wrap this up here, Jay. But you did ask the question. I think it either to I forget if it was to Frank Miley or who it was, one of the defensive coaches. But Boise State obviously has given up the fewest 10+ yard plays per game in the country by a pretty large margin. And so they're not giving up big plays. And I think you said, like, if a team has to go 10 or 15 plays to score on you, do you like your chances? And he said yes and no because they want to get off the field in 3 plays. But the point is, it's pretty hard against this defense to have a methodical 13 play, dink and dunk up the field. I mean, at some point you're talking about third downs. Like, you're going to get to a position where you're either going to, at some point you're not going to be able to go 15 plays and score on this team. And that's right now, based on them not giving up big plays, what you have to do to score against this defense.
Right. And here's the deal, BJ, is that you will go back to the Fresno State game, and at times that's kind of how they moved the ball and got into scoring position. But here's the deal. You're even if you do it once, the likelihood of you doing it twice is next to none. And doing it 3 times, it's almost impossible, it seems. So the likelihood of a team with like Colorado State with what they've done on offense this year, for them to be able to sustain multiple drives like that, because Boise State's simply not allowing explosive plays right now, I just think it's the likelihood of it is next to none.
Is the game sold out yet? Somebody's asking about that. I don't remember. I don't think
no,
so.
They've definitely made a lot of progress. Last we heard, I think it was the update 2 days ago, where there were about 36,000 tickets remaining. I know they're doing some stuff with the military.
No, not 36,000 remaining.
Sorry, 3,600 remaining.
An empty stadium.
36, a little over 36,000 is the capacity. My bad. Thanks for catching that, BJ. But I know they're doing some stuff with military, Optimist, football, things like that. So that'll be cool. But right now, I think they're saying right about 90% capacity. As of that was the last update 2 days ago. So they're pushing. They always do.
Well, it should be fun tomorrow. You guys will be on with your pregame show from 4 to 5. You'll be live on the field inside the stadium, so folks can watch that on KTVB, KTVB.com. I'm sure that'll be on all the YouTube and channels and all that as well. But KTVB, KTVB.com for the pregame show with Jay at 4. But before that, we'll get you ready around 3:30. Winston Venable is going to stop by over at the James. So Winston and I will get you set. We'll show some of the sights and scenes from the tailgating and things outside. And we'll have 3:30 to 4 on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. Hopefully you'll check us out. And then post-game, we'll have Kent Riddle on the post-game show. And I said we would put anybody on, Jay. I said if you stop by, we'll put you on the post-game show. And, we had Golly guy on there and all that, but I just, saw a tweet a little while ago. Basically, Austin Dixon and Connor Johnstone just kind of invited themselves onto the post-game show. And I tweeted back and said, we'll put anybody on. This proves it, because Austin basically said, pumped to announce that they're coming on the show tomorrow. They said, get ready for some hot takes and cold drinks. So maybe that's a good slogan. But if you want to see Connor Johnstone, former Boise State golfer, Austin Dixon, former football player, 2 just genuinely good, funny dudes, they're going to be stopping by the post-game show.
Those guys are former athletes?
Somehow. Yeah, somehow. But they'll be on the post-game show with Kent Riddle and I. You can stop on by. And again, if you have a hot take or a comment on the game, we'll put you on. Maybe Golly Guy will stop by again. We'll put him back on. So looking forward to having some fun tomorrow. Again, 3:30 at the James for the pregame show. Then listen to Jay 4 to 5. And then about 45 minutes after the game, we'll be back at the James about 9 o'clock or so with the post-game show. Could be a little chilly out there on the patio for the post-game show, but they'll have the tiki torches and things going. So final hot take here. Kareem says Tyreek and JL both get picks this game.
Ooh. I think anybody in Bronco Nation would take that.
Turnover margin +3. And then my old neighbor says good stuff, guys. So, Jay, appreciate your time as always, man. We'll see you down there tomorrow.
BJ, happy Friday to you and the rest of everybody out there watching.
Where's the big Friday night game tonight? Where are you going to be at tonight?
Swinging by over Rocky Mountain High School. One way or the other. Somehow they have to play an opening round, so we're going to go there first, and then over to Mountain View, Nampa, looking to upset the Mavs for the second time this season. See if they get it done. State playoffs, though, underway tonight.
Oh, I didn't realize we were already in state playoff mode.
Yep.
State playoff mode, and make sure you're watching KTVB for all the highlights for high school football tonight. They'll be out and about tonight, and then we'll have Boise State coverage all day tomorrow. So appreciate it, Jay.
Yep.
There he is, Jay Tust. Appreciate him. Appreciate you guys. Again, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get more YouTube subscribers. We're at 1,600, and I want to get us to 2,000. I know that's a big goal, but I want 2,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of the football season. So tell your friends. A lot of these broadcasts are going to be going YouTube exclusive. So if you're watching on Facebook, we already took it off Twitter, but if you're watching on Facebook, eventually it's only going to be on YouTube. That's the best way for the comments and things on there. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's just very easy. You click the button down there. I forget which side it's on. You can subscribe. It's free. It takes like 2 seconds, and then you get notified when the videos go live. And it's an easy way to comment on the different things that are going on. Yeah, we got the World Series going on starting tonight. Go Phillies. Looking forward to that. A lot of sports stuff going on. So hope everything is going well for you. And again, if you are coming to the game tomorrow, we would love to see you on the pregame show. We'll be over at the James 3:30, and then maybe more if it's easier for you after the game. Come on by the James. We'll be out on the patio about 9 o'clock or so. It's usually about 45 minutes after the game ends. Live post-game show, the Lithia Florida Boise post-game show on the patio at the James, and we will put you on the air. We'll give you a mic, and we'll let you give us your thoughts on the game live right after the game. So that was fun last week. We had Golly Guy. I don't know if I have that somewhere in the thing that I could pull up real quick. But Golly Guy did make an appearance. And let's see if we have it here. This could be you. This could be you if you come for the post-game show tomorrow.
Anybody else? You want to give some words? We got another guy. Let's try this again. We're batting 1,000 here, Kent. Let's go one more. Come on in here, man. Give us. You got to lean over a little bit.
Appreciate it.
You got a lot to live up to from the previous guest, but
no cuss words from me.
Give us your analysis of the game, and the mic is yours, man. If you have a question for Coach Riddle, feel free as well.
Listen, BJ, you're the man.
Oh, I'm loving this guy already.
You're the man as well.
Loving this guy already.
Golly, I'll tell you what. This offense looked great tonight. You know, they switched offense coordinator, they switched quarterbacks. I get a little mix and stuff, but golly, man, that offense rolled the ball. And as a Boise State Bronco fan, golly, I was not expecting that. I really wasn't. And
down 13-0 at halftime.
Unbelievable. Taylon Green. Shout out to Taylon Green. Shout out to
they're loving the Golly. They're loving the Golly, man.
I know it's a little old school.
I
know it's a little old school.
You're getting roasted.
No, I won't cuss. I won't cuss. I promise that. But my biggest issue is Dirk Cutter came in. And he made the simple passes for the quarterback. I don't know if we've seen that from Plow, right? The little running back in the flat, right? Just a quick, easy pass that gained 8 yards, 10 yards. I don't know if that's the defense. I don't know if that's the offense, but it seemed like Plow never really got that going, the easy passes for the quarterback. And it really seemed like when Dirk Cutter was in there, he got those easy passes for the quarterback, which opened up the run game, right? It's just all a cycle, right? And I'm really impressed by the Boise State offense. Defense, we knew what they were going to do. The Boise State offense was very impressive tonight. I'm a big-time Boise State Bronco fan, and golly, holy moly, I'll tell you what, go Broncos! Woo!
We appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
There he is, Golly Guy. Wow. Golly Guy. He'll be maybe we'll make an appearance tomorrow. We'll have to see if Golly Guy wants to come back or not. If he's around, Golly Guy, come on by. Max is liking it. But okay, Bro Chill says I might be the only guy that doesn't care for Golly Guy. So this clip belongs in the BNN Hall of Fame. Yeah, when we do a best of someday, maybe I need to put together a best of if there's a day that I can't do a show or something, and Golly Guy would certainly be on there. But that's kind of what we'll have on the post-game show. We'll have some drinks, have some fun, and we'll stay as late as you want and talk Boise State football or whatever else. So Kent Riddle will be with me, and again, we'll have a mic, and it sounds like some folks are going to be stopping by, and we'll hand you the mic and put you on. And if you can't make it down to join us, make sure you watch, because the post-game shows at the James are always you never know what you'll see, like Golly Guy. So again, looking looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, I have one more clip here from BNN After Dark. If you missed BNN After Dark on Wednesday, you missed quite a show. We had Doug Martin on, and Doug Martin told some great stories. And this story about Doug playing the University of Idaho, I wanted to play because this is if you're not familiar with BNN After Dark, it is a subscriber-only show. And we talk about all different things, and we get former players on, and we tell some stories that guys might not tell, like on a normal radio interview. You get a drink or two in them, and you get, with their buddy Winston, and they just start going down memory lane, and you get some great stories from some of these guys. And Doug Martin was our guest on the show, and was an unbelievable guest. We really enjoyed having him on, and I wanted to. This is the type of story that you're missing if you're not watching BNN After Dark.
Oh yeah!
Oh, we got the.
Oh yeah! Well, hold on, Doug. Hold on.
This is exactly the hammer that I slammed in the middle of the field that day, right here.
Did you guys know that he did that?
This is it.
No.
Doug,
tell the story, man. Tell the story, bro.
The story is right. Okay, we're at the cam. We call it the cam because that's what it looks like, and it's pregame. We're in the locker room, and then Coach Choate, who was a special teams coach at the time, I think linebackers coach. I'm not sure. Special teams, and he comes with a Vandals helmet, and he lights it on fire. Right, he lights the little helmet on fire. We're in the shower. Everybody's hyped. He puts the helmet. It's on fire and on the shower floor, and then he said, "Doug, smash the helmet." So I take the hammer. And I go, ah! And I smash the helmet. So I'm already hyped, right? I'm already hyped. We're not even on the field, and everybody's just going crazy, right? So we get on the field. We get to the field. We get to about to run on the field. We run, whatever. Ellis is with me. And Tanner's on the other side, I believe. There's a picture right there. And they said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I go on the midfield. And then I'll do the same thing what I did to that helmet. I took it and I said, yeah. And then I turn around and then I drop the hammer on the table like it was a mic. And I turn around I look back to the midfield, and everybody is in the middle of the field about to fight. Everybody's there in the mid back about to fight. And I was like, oops.
I was gonna say, what'd Coach Pete think of that?
Oh, wait, there's more. So we're kicking off to them, and they're returning it. They catch the ball on the kick return, and they take it all the way back and score it. Coach Pete looked at me like, yo, you better show up or it's going to be your ass.
Yeah, now it's on you.
You better not lose or it's going to be your ass. He gave me that look. I was like, oh,
Oh, what a story there from Doug Martin, and that's been circulating on Twitter. We got a couple other stories from Doug on Twitter as well. Yeah, that was a great one, and it wasn't actually the kickoff. They scored on the first play, and then they went. It was an 81-yard pass, and then after that, that made it 7-0 Idaho, and Boise State came back, I think, and won 45-10 or something like that. So if you didn't think the Idaho rivalry still meant a lot to those guys, how about Coach Choate lighting the helmet on fire and then him smashing it in the locker room before the game, and then almost instigating a brawl by slamming the hammer at the 50-yard line of the Idaho Vandals there. So that was a good one. And yeah, shameless plug, man. It's only $6.99 a month if you want to get in and be able to watch those full episodes, all the old episodes, all the old guests that we've had, including Jerron Johnson and some of these where we just told some great stories. Brandon Thompson. We're on 8 episodes in now. We've been having a lot of fun doing it. So if you want to watch any of the old episodes, those are all available for subscribers on the website. So it's just $6.99 a month, $7 a month. Or if you want to get a discount, you get 2 months free. Just pay $70 for the whole year. And if you do that, then you get some free stuff as well. I'll throw in a free gift card to the Blue and Orange store and a couple other things. But yeah, we've had a lot of really good guests on the show. We had Brandon Thompson, as I said, Jerron Johnson, Ryan Winterswick. We've had Hunter White on there, Richie Brockle, Daryl Akery. It's been a lot of fun doing these shows, and I think Doug Martin was probably the best one so far. And we got another NFL player for next week, another draft player that was drafted and went into the NFL and had a nice long NFL career and is a fan favorite as well. So we're going to keep the big time guests going. So if you don't want to miss out, go ahead and jump in. $70 for the full year. You pay it once, don't have to worry about it. And as I said, you get a lot of that back because I'll give you a gift card and a free pizza and some other stuff. So just subscribe and then send me an email, or I'll see that you subscribed and I'll email you and we'll hook up, get your address and send you all your free stuff. We will have some T-shirts, by the way, and some koozies. I don't know if I have one. Don't think I have one on me, but we'll have some T-shirts and some koozies to give away tomorrow at the James. So if you come on by before or after the game at the James, we will have free koozies and free Bronco Nation News T-shirts. I also ordered some hats. A lot of people were talking about the hats they liked. I ordered about 15 hats or so, and we may do some giveaways or something, some raffles for some hats. So yes, we will be having some giveaways and things like that. So again, let's see. Yes. And he says it's on the website. Yeah, there's a link on the website for subscribers to be able to see that. Once you're logged in, you'll have access to that page as well. Kareem's asking about the exhibition game against Carroll College. Yes, I will be there. Is that next Wednesday, I believe? It's early next week. I believe it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Maybe it's Tuesday. We will be there. Bronco Nation News will have a full pregame and postgame show from the exhibition game against Carroll College for the men's basketball team. Hoping to talk to Coach Rice before that to get more information on that Oregon scrimmage. But I was told that it was a good day for the Broncos. We'll just say that about they felt pleased, I think, with how things went for the Oregon scrimmage. Tuesday. Yep, we'll be there Tuesday night, November 1st for the scrimmage there. And then the season starts the following Wednesday, I believe. Is that game against South Dakota State. So basketball season is pretty much here. So we'll have full coverage. The plan as of now is for Bronco Nation News to be at every game the all season for basketball, home and road. That might be a little tough. I think the day of the Mountain West Championship game, we may not make the Texas A&M game is the same day as the Mountain West Championship. But other than that, we're planning to be at every game the rest of the season. I am actually going to go to Myrtle Beach for the basketball tournament, and we're going to send Colin Mitchell to Laramie, Wyoming for the football game. So Bronco Nation News will be the only outlet in town, the only outlet in the world, I guess, if you want to phrase it that way, that'll have a reporter on site at the football game at Wyoming and the basketball tournament at Myrtle Beach. We are looking forward to being at the Myrtle Beach tournament and looking forward to that. Blue Collar Club members, check your inbox for a pre-basketball game meetup. Looking forward to that. Colin needs a better agent. Yeah, he's going to Laramie, Wyoming in late November, and I'm going to Myrtle Beach for the basketball tournament. Yeah, that'll be that probably wasn't a fair trade, but we're looking forward to that. The Matt Bauscher show will be starting next week as well. I think Wednesday is going to be the first episode of that to discuss the exhibition game. We got a lot of things going, but the plan is to be at every basketball game, home or road, as long as there's not a football game on the same day where we literally can't make it happen. I wasn't going to choose the Texas A&M game over the Mountain West Championship, so we're not doing that, but we are going to split it up where Colin goes to the football game against Wyoming. I'll be at Myrtle Beach for that tournament, and we're going to have some cool coverage planned all week of that tournament as well with pre- and post-game shows and things like that. So these social media shows that you're watching right here are free. The pre- and post-game shows are obviously free on social media, but they do cost money for us to travel to all the games and to be able to have the equipment and the things needed to provide these shows for you and to pay guys like Jay Tust and John Mallory. So I know I'm always hawking subscriptions, and I apologize for that, but it's the reality of wanting to keep this thing going. We can't be able to provide this free service on social media and all this stuff if we don't have the financial support of you guys. So if you're able to do a subscription, we'd love to have you. As I said, it's $70, but I'll throw in a Blue and Orange Store gift card. I'll throw in some other free stuff, and we'd love to have you. And it's allowing us to be able to do both, go to the Wyoming football game and go spend, 4 days in Myrtle Beach for a basketball tournament. It's a pretty big expense that we're putting, to buy flights for all of the basketball games. And, regardless of how good the opponent is or bad the opponent is or whether or not Boise State's going to blow them out, we're planning to be at every game to try to provide the most comprehensive and best coverage that we can. Live looks at warm-ups and things like that you're not going to get anywhere else for a Boise State Santa Clara basketball game or something. So So, I really appreciate those that have subscribed. And like I said, I know people are always like, oh, here he is hawking another subscription. But that is the reality of this business, that if we're going to provide a free service for folks on social media and things like that, it takes the sponsors, and it takes you guys supporting the sponsors, and it takes folks, signing up for a subscription. We're about 10 months in. So hopefully in 10 months, if you haven't subscribed, would hope you've seen enough to this point that makes you want to think about subscribing moving forward. So we would love to have you. Again, if you sign up for $70, I got a couple left. I'll throw in a free gift card. But if the $6.99 a month is more up your alley, we'd love to have you for that as well. And that gets you access to breaking news. Like yesterday, I sent the George Tarlas information 10 minutes early to the emails of subscribers before I posted it online. So you're going to get the breaking news before anybody else. You're going to get access to some exclusive content and stories. And the big one is you get the exclusive access to the BNN After Dark show on Wednesday nights. There's even the potential to keep that rolling into basketball season with a mix of football and basketball guests. We're maybe talking to Matt Boucher about that, maybe having some fun on BNN After Dark basketball edition as well. So I've got to pay all those guys. I pay Winston, I pay Johnny, I pay Tust, I pay Prater, I pay Colin, Jaden. So we've got a pretty big payroll we're building here, and we can only do that with the support of you guys. So that's all I'll say about it. I really, truly appreciate everybody that already has subscribed. If you have, maybe tell a friend, convince them to do it. And if you haven't, hopefully you'll take the plunge and jump on board, because the more money we get, the more people I can hire. My goal is to hire a full-time employee within the next year. And I would love to have a full-time employee within the next year to really start to bolster the site and some of the things that we can do on the writing side, on the video side. So I've got big goals, and we're moving in that direction. I do thank all of our sponsors. Lithia Ford of Boise has stepped up. ICCU has stepped up, and Row Paint has stepped up. Those three have really done a great job. And so we do truly appreciate, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise as well. And as I said, rowpaint.com, our three title sponsors, so to speak, or Row Paint is our title sponsor, but ICCU and Lithia have done a great job as well, and we appreciate them. So hopefully you'll support all of our sponsors and get out there and use Row Paint the next time you're looking to paint your house or do that concrete coating or any of that great stuff. Row Paint does an amazing job, and they support Boise State as well, and they support us, and we truly appreciate them. And all of our great sponsors. So that's my soliloquy for the week, and hopefully folks will sign up. And we kept the show going a little bit longer today because we really had nothing else going on, and figured why not. So I am headed to the gym. Need to drop a few pounds here. I've got to let myself get away, and so we're going to see if we can get back in shape here, as before basketball season really gets rolling. But Derek Marks on BNN After Dark would be amazing. We got, heck yes, that would be awesome. Let's get some women's basketball too. Yeah, we could try to do that. We'll see what we can do. As I said, long show today. Love it. And this is the comment of the day. I agree with this. Ball game should be paying you. Yeah, Johnny should be paying me for putting him on the air. That's a good comment there. I do appreciate that. That is true. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. Hopefully you'll go subscribe. We'd really, really appreciate that. I love getting the email in my inbox and having my phone go off saying there's a new subscriber. Let's see if we can make that happen today. If you're on YouTube, again, please subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. That part is free, and then you still have access to all the free pre- and post-game shows and daily social media shows as well. And there is a possibility that's at least one of the daily shows. Just let everybody know there is a possibility as we try to make sure our subscribers have value here. At least one of the 5 days a week, and it may rotate, may become a subscriber-only show. So there may be a Tuesday show with Jay where you can only watch it if you're a subscriber, or a Thursday show with Prater where you pop in and it's only available for subscribers. So the best way to make sure you don't miss any of this stuff, and heck, we may even do a pre or post game show at some point. I guarantee you we will. Actually, we will have a post game show at some point where it's for subscribers only. So hopefully, we're going to start to make sure our subscribers are getting value for this, and we want you to jump on board and be a subscriber. So we truly appreciate your support. Go get a Cutwater. Take your Cutwaters to the game tomorrow. Come see us at the James, 3:30 for the pregame show with Winston Venable, and then after the game, Kent Riddle. And all of you guys, hopefully, as guests, we'll love to get your comments and things on there and see what happens with that moving forward. So appreciate it. Been a fun show. Appreciate each and every one of you for giving us a chance at Bronco Nation News. And we'll be back tomorrow at 3:30 from the James with our Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. And then we'll have the game and the postgame show. And I'll have a story or two, at least one, probably two stories going up later today at BroncoNationNews.com, getting you ready for the game. So make sure you check the site later today. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Go Phillies. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.
Ooh, the gym. Old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, fly fishing guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah. Try it sometime.